The NYPD, along with the courts, are working in coordination with predominantly Jewish property developers to steal homes and evict families, including the elderly and children, out onto the streets.
We begin with these questions surrounding the arrest of a New York City council member.
Mayor Mamdani among those reacting to the cell phone video that shows NYPD officers wrestling with Councilman Ossé to the ground and putting him in handcuffs.
He was one of 4 people arrested during a protest that broke out in Bed-Stuy over deed theft.
Eyewitness News reporter Darla Miles is live in Bed-Stuy with our lead story. Darla?
Sade and Mike, this morning, Councilmember Ossé and 3 other people were arrested. The council member and 2 others actually had to be treated at the hospital for concussions after what ensued here this morning. As you can see, there are a group of people behind me at this Jefferson Avenue home. They say they are here to block the illegal eviction while the homeowner still fights in court to keep her property. But the NYPD said they received a 911 call to respond to a protest.
I was manhandled by 3 men. They slammed me against the concrete. I believe there was a knee on my back at some point.
This is cell phone video of City Council member Ossé being yanked by his arm and thrown to the ground by NYPD officers.
It happened pretty quickly. I know that, there were several pieces of paper that were waved in front of our face. They said that they were there for an eviction, but then someone else was saying that they were there for her father.
Ossé and 3 others arrested Wednesday morning in Bed-Stuy during a confusing standoff between the NYPD, the Marshal's Office, and a coalition of people trying to help Carmela Charrington from being forced out of her Jefferson Avenue home that her family has owned for 6 decades.
It's a conservator in the state of Georgia that signed off. You cannot sign off from Georgia in a property in New York. So the conservator in Georgia signed off with a developer in New York.
Just the irony of the fact that he is their boss, at least on paper. He provides oversight for them, at least based on the statutory law. He's a member of the council representing the people who fund those same government workers who have decided to physically accost him during an eviction. The council member also said on social media Wednesday afternoon that he was being examined at a hospital for injuries sustained during the arrest. 3 other people remained in custody, including 2 who had been hospitalized. Quote, "I was manhandled by 3 men." The council member told reporters outside of the precinct right after his release, quote, "It takes a lot to lift me off the ground, but they were able to do so. They slammed me against the concrete. My face is sore, and I do feel a little loopy and dizzy." He plans to file a misconduct report. I hope he does that following the lawsuit. Loopy and dizzy are hallmark signs of a concussion. A concussion. There's more. The police department said in the statement that Ms. Ossé, not council member, was taken down, quote, "as is within guidelines for making an arrest," after he appeared to flail his arms and hands to prevent officers from restraining him, end quote. The other 3 people who were arrested were all charged with the same offense as the council member, according to the police. Deed theft. We're going to talk about the policy that leads to this action.
Ma'am, just know I'm not against you. I'm just here to do my job. Hello? Hey, what's up? Yeah, let's see what happens. Oh, yeah, it's posted on her door. I'm probably gonna need PD, but let's see.
The NYPD, along with the courts, are working in coordination with predominantly Jewish property developers to steal homes and evict families, including the elderly and children, out onto the streets.
What marshal you are? I sent you a cease and desist for you not to come here and harass me, and you still here telling me you're about to evict me in the middle of the cold.
Exposing them not only to carceral systems, displacement and homelessness, but also to the extreme police brutality of the NYPD.
You can open the door. I'm not going to step in until I explain everything to you. It's a private house. First and second floor. I'm not sure.
Listen to the language this criminal marshal is using against Carmela here. He's literally sicking the NYPD on her.
She's inside barricaded.
No, I'm just, because I already know.
This is the language they use before they break down your door, arrest you, involuntarily commit you, or just straight up kill you.
Let me just ask you, are you here by yourself? Or are you home by yourself? Okay, how many people are we talking? Can I talk to you? They told me it was going to be a trouble. Seems like it.
And with the installation of Zionist billionaire real estate heiress Jessica Tisch, the NYPD has begun conducting illegal evictions with militarized SWAT teams.
He gearing up. I just asked what's going on in the building because they have elderly people here. Why is he getting geared up like this? But he's putting on tactical gear.
Restraining orders mean nothing to the NYPD, who will still come and throw families out. And then protect the thieves as they sledgehammer the homes in front of the owners.
Don't put your ass back. Get the fuck out. Get your nasty ass out. Come here and you threatening to arrest her for her property. Break everything. No more walls. Look what they did. Mother of all evil.
Wow.
And they walked out of here.
He kept in. They refuse to take police reports to cover their tracks.
There's no report to me. Excuse me, I'm trying to talk.
No, but you're wrong.
Okay, there's no report to me.
No, he's walking away.
And then retaliate against the victims by showing up with even more police to terrorize them the next day.
I sent him a cease and desist for the marshals, and he still came here and harassed me. How you came to my house? Oh, we have cameras everywhere, so you will find a complaint against you guys.
Eric Gonzalez, the Brooklyn DA, finally granted a meeting for over 80 victims of deed theft yesterday, but then put them off at the last moment.
He's the district attorney. You can give us the right to tell him to stop it now, and you know it. Stop treating us like a slave. Stop it. Just stop these evictions right now.
Why? These are his donors. This is state-sponsored terrorism against Black and brown communities in New York, and it is completely routine.
They denied us to do the police report of what happened on yesterday. There's a TRO, nobody's supposed to be at the house. We went to file a police report, he refused to give the police report, and then he came here today to get all of us out the house. The same sergeant.
There's no report to me.
No one won't believe that if I don't say it and show it.
It's been a week since two now dead suspects opened fire on a kosher market in the predominantly Black and brown Greenville section of Jersey City. It was an anti-Semitic attack that pulled back the curtain, if you will, to reveal underlying issues of tension and resentment between the neighborhood's old guard and the Orthodox Jewish families who got priced out of Brooklyn and began arriving here less than 5 years ago. But a recent Facebook comment from Jersey City School Board member Joan Terrell has set off a firestorm for crossing the line into more anti-Semitism and triggered calls for her resignation.
I believe that post was anti-Semitic and that she should resign, and personally, I was personally hurt by it.
Terrell's Facebook comment in a discussion about the attack begins with, quote, "Where was all this faith and hope when Black homeowners were threatened, intimidated, and harassed by I want to buy your house brutes of the Jewish community?" Terrell goes on to describe many of the concerns which have already been voiced long before the attack. But Jersey City Council member James Solomon says Terrell must be held accountable for her poor choice of words.
Even within her post, she is touching upon genuine, legitimate issues and issues of concern in our city.
Such as?
Such as, I think, the fact that the south side of Jersey City, which has seen issues of gentrification, of housing injustice, that gun violence, that we haven't done enough as a city to address those problems, but she did so in a way that was wrong.
Mayor Steve Fulop has called for Terrell's resignation. So has Governor Phil Murphy. We reached out to Ms. Terrell by phone and email. No response. A statement from the Hudson County Democratic Black Caucus reads in part, quote, "While we do not agree with the delivery of the statement made by Ms. Terrell Page, we believe that her statement has heightened awareness around issues that must be addressed and should be a topic of a larger conversation."
This should give you a great idea of who really is in charge, because in this conversation, the one part that isn't mentioned as much is the cause and effect. We're talking about private business, corporations, property owners.
The NYPD, along with the courts, are working in coordination with predominantly Jewish property developers to steal homes and evict families, including the elderly and children, out onto the streets.
We're talking about corporate politics and the police protecting the interest of corporate politics, not the interest of the constituents who pay their bills.
The NYPD, along with the courts, are working in coordination with predominantly Jewish property developers to steal homes and evict families, including the elderly and children, out onto the streets.
The mayor, Mayor Mondani, called the arrest, now get this, incredibly concerning. Damn it, Mayor. You're sounding like them. You're sounding like the people you said you would never sound like. Now, we'll give you some leeway here, a little bit, and continue. He said his administration would follow up on both circumstances of the arrest and the housing dispute that prompted the protest. Speaking at an unrelated press conference in Queens, Mondani said that the council member, Ossé, had been, quote, on the front lines, end quote, of efforts to combat deed theft. An issue, he said, is especially prevalent in the council member's district, and praised his work to keep attention on the problem while defending a constituent from eviction. Now, to the mayor, to his credit, he did uplift the position, the policy position that landed the moment. However, he did not criticize the police for what we all saw. He did not have the extreme critique of law enforcement as he campaigned on. We see that as well. The house on Jefferson Avenue is the latest in the ongoing struggle against deed theft, a practice in which scammers, understand the process, scammers take ownership of homes through fraud, often by forging homeowners' signatures or tricking them into signing over deeds by promising to take care of financial concerns like mortgages and unpaid utilities. So understand the reason why this happens. It happens because you have laws that do not crack down on the scammers, or laws that allow this to be permitted without an outside agency or investigative prowess to investigate properly and prosecute. At the beginning and end of this, you have fraud, typically with intent, execution, methodology, and then conclusion. You have the same thing happening in the state of Georgia. You have things like this happening in California. These things happen because laws or loopholes in them allow, or second, you have no investigative vigor to stop it. This also says that the council member had already been working with that tenant. He didn't just show up because somebody called his office that day and said, come here. That means there's some background or at least an investigation that his office engaged in, because when his office was reached that same day, they immediately said he was there because there's a deed theft happening. You don't figure that out in 5 minutes. So he did more investigation than the cops.
What's your thoughts? Please be respectful with your comments. Also, please click the like, click the notification bell, and subscribe to this channel.
Listen, Genesis chapter 11 verse 10 explains the genealogy of Shem. Shem was a black man in Africa. If you repeat this back, Genesis 14 verse 13, Abraham steps on the scene. Being a descendant of Shem, which is a fact, means Abraham too was Abraham, born in the city of a black man called Nimrod, grandson of Ham. Ham had 4 sons. One was named Canaan. Here, let me do some explaining. Abraham, Isaac was Jacob had 12 sons, for real, and these were the children of Israel. According to Genesis chapter 10, these were the children of Israel. According to Genesis chapter 10, these were the children of Israel. According to Genesis chapter 10.